Hi, boys and girls, Mr. Kemp here, and we're going to tell time. I think everybody should be able to look up at a clock and say, oh, I know what time it is, because I know how to tell time on the clock. And that's what we're going to do today. This first video you're watching is for everybody. I'm going to have a second part for older boys and girls to do more advanced ideas in telling time. So let's start by looking at the clock and looking at the two different hands. There's a big long hand, and that's called the minute hand. And there's a shorter hand, and that's called the hour hand. The hour hand, the short hand, that always points to what time, what the hour is. So this one is pointing to 1, the hour hand is pointing to the 1. Right now it's 1 o'clock. Now this is true if the bigger hand, the minute hand, is pointing straight up, then we know it's exactly 1 o'clock. So let's swing this big hand around 1 whole hour, and now it's pointing straight up again. Now what time is it? Well, the hour hand is pointing to 2, so it's 2 o'clock. Let's swing the minute hand around one more time. A whole time around means another hour goes by. The hour hand is pointing to 3 o'clock. So now this is 3 o'clock. I'll go kind of quick. There's 4 o'clock because the hour hand is pointing to 4 o'clock. When the minute hand goes around again, now it's 5 o'clock. Okay, go around again. There's 6 o'clock. The hour hand is pointing to 6 o'clock. The hour hand points to 7 o'clock. Then 8 o'clock. As long as the minute hand is pointing straight up, we know it's right on the o'clock time, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then finally 12 o'clock. It's 12 noon. When both hands are pointing straight up, it's 12 noon, or it's 12 midnight. You'd be asleep though. So let's call it 12 noon. All right, I'm going to go back again and start back at 1 o'clock again. The minute hand is pointing straight up. The hour hand is pointing to the 1. It's 1 o'clock. Now let's talk about some other important times. When the minute hand goes just a part way around, we've got to start thinking about how many minutes past 1 o'clock is it. And each one of these little clicks is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every one of those is another minute. So it's 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. Let's stick with the easy ones though. Where the minute hand is pointing to the big 1, we know it's 5 after 1, 105. When it's pointing to the 2, if you count it up, you'd find out that means 10 minutes after. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 1:10 right now. And here's the real secret. If you know how to count by fives, learning how to tell time on a clock is going to be much easier. So here it is, 1 o'clock. We already figured out that's 105. We figured out this is 1:10. We go 5, 10. What's next in counting by fives? Let's do it together. It's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then 60. Now, we're not going to say 60 once it reaches here because guess what time it is now? The hour hand is pointing to the 2, so now it's 2 o'clock. Now, this is so important. I'm just going to start this again. Here's 1 o'clock. Counting by 5. Remember, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. And then by the time it gets to 60, it's going to be a new hour. So here we go. 1 o'clock, 1:05, 1:10, 1:15, 1:20, 1:25. Let's just make sure here. We count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, it's 1:25. By the way, the minute hand is pointing there to the 5, so we know it's 1:25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. But look at the hour hand. The hour hand is still after the 1, so we know it's 1 something. It's 1:25. As we keep going further, the hour hand is going to keep getting closer to the 2, but it's still 1 something, okay? As long as it's after the 1, it hasn't reached the 2 yet, it's still 1 something. So where were we? 125. What's next? 130. Keep going by 5s. After 30 comes 35. There's 135, 140, 145, 150. And again, look at how close it's getting to the 2. The hour hand's getting close to the 2. But is it 2 yet? Not quite. It's 1 something. It's 1 what? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. It's 150. 155. Well, we're getting close. It's almost to the 2. But can you tell it's not pointing to the 2? And then what do we say? 160? No, not 160, because now it's exactly what? 2 o'clock. Let's go quicker this time. 2 o'clock. 2:05, 2:10, 2:15, 2:20. Oh, get over there. 2:20, 2:25, 2:30. Look at the hour hand again. The hour hand is still after 2, so it's still 2 something. 2 what? It's 2:30. The hour hand's going to keep moving closer to the 3, but it's not going to reach the 3 until we get all the way back to the top. So keep counting from 2 something. The hour hand is a little after 2. The minute hand says 2:30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Keep going. 2:35, 2:40, 2:45, 2:50. Oh, it's getting close. 2:55, and then 3 o'clock. Let's go really fast through the 3s. It's 3:05, 3:10, 3:15, 3:20, 3:25. Now the time is 3:30. When the minute hand points straight down, it's 3:30. 3:35, 3:40, 3:45, 3:50, 3:55. Look at that. It's almost 4, but not quite. We're still after 3s. 3:55. And then finally, now it's 4 o'clock. Now we could do this with every single hour, but let me show you some very, very important times that are the most common that we need to figure out. You've got 4 o'clock. A really common time is when you go exactly this many minutes after 4. What was that? 5, 10, 15. 4:15 is a very important time. 4:30. You often hear people say, hey, it's 4:30, everybody. That's when the minute hand is pointing straight down. We're at 4:30. Here's another one that's important when the minute hand points to the 9. What was that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. The 45 is another really important part. It's 4 still. It still hasn't reached the 5. It's 4:45. And then finally, 5 o'clock. So let's go over those important ones again. Who remembers the first one? 5:15, 5:30, 5:45, and then 6 o'clock. Do this with me. Let's do this. This is important. So let's try this a few times. What do we say the first one was there? 5, 10, 15. It's 6:15. Now it's 6:30. Okay, very important time. You remember that. 6:30, 6:45, 7 o'clock. Keep going with the same one. We're going to go to 7:15, 7:30, 7:45. Okay, not quite 8 yet, is it? Not quite 8. 7:45, 8 o'clock. One more time. 8:15. What was this one again? 8:30. What about the one over here? 8:45. And then finally, 9 o'clock. Let's go back and make it harder again. I'm going to just give you a time. You tell me what it is. What if it was just a little after 9? That's where we need to count by 5s. 9:05, 9:10. That's 9:10. How about this one over here? That's another hard one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. The minute hand is pointing to 25. The hour hand is still a little after 9. So it's 9:25. 9:25. What about this easy one? 9:30. I hope you remember that. Let's go way over here. The hour hand, is that hitting the 10 yet? It's almost to the 10, but it's not quite. So the hour hand still says it's 9 something. 9 what? 9. Uh-oh, I lost track. Let's start over. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And after a while, you won't have to think about it anymore. When you know the minute hand is pointing to the 10, you'll always know, oh, that's the 50. It's 9:50, 9:55, and finally 10 o'clock. I'll do a couple more examples. How about that? 10 what? I hope you right away said that's 10:05. Let's go to one of these easy ones. 10 what? I hope you remember 10:15. Another easy one, it's 10 right down the line, 10:30. That's a very important one. How about over here? Well, if that was 10:30, let's see, 10:35. Now it's 10:40. Still not quite 11, is it? No, 10:40. 10:45. Let's go all the way up. Now it's 11 o'clock. Let's do a couple more. 11:15. 11:30. I hope you said that. 11:45. And finally it is 12 o'clock, lunchtime or time for recess. Okay. I hope you've enjoyed this, boys and girls. Those are the basics of telling time. Now look at the website here, visnos.com, and it's /demos/clock. I have this on pattersonmusic.net. Just underneath this video you clicked on, you can click on the Visnos and you can try to tell time all by yourself. If you click on the little 12 button, you can actually read the answer. All right, turn it off and you can test yourself. Try to go to a certain number, say, what time is that? Oh, I think it's 1:15. Let's see if I'm right. Click this again. Oh, yes, I'm right. 1:15. Yes. Let's try another one. Go around a little bit. Let's try this one, boys and girls. Oh, I already gave you the answer. Let's turn it off. How about this time, right here? What is that one? Oh, I don't know what it is. Let's see. I'm going to 4. The minute hand is down that way. I think it's 4:30. Let's find out. Yay, I'm right. You can test yourself with this. Okay? So, boys and girls, you really should be able to tell time. Watch this video a couple times if it will help you. And then if you're a little bit older, maybe first grade, probably more like second grade, third grade, fourth grade, go to my second video for more advanced ideas on how to tell time. Have fun telling time, boys and girls. You should be able to tell time. Bye.